Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alan. Thanks for joining me again. This is a little bit of a different showcase from me. I don't normally paint, well, fantasy figures in general, and certainly not sort of Warhammer figures. This is an army that I painted quite a few years ago, and the reason I'm sort of bringing it forward in terms of a video is that I think it's actually a useful example of how you can use a basic colour tone, or palette, sorry, just to give you a sort of consistent theme within an army, but also how you can use that to your advantage in terms of speed painting. So just a bit of a quick description here. What we've got at the back, if I use my pointer, we've got 1, 2, 3 squads of 10. Now when I did this originally, there were 3 armoured carriers, which, and forgive me if you play for Warhammer 40K, I really don't. I've played, I think, 2 games, and it's been a number of years since. But I think these armoured carriers could carry, were assigned to each squad. Then we've got this sort of flamethrower type vehicle, and I think these are called chimeras. Over on the far side here, we've got a couple of Lehman Russ tanks. And you can see that what I've tried to do with the sort of colour palette is use this sort of sandy moss colour, and it's one of the moss triads from Foundry, with a storm green from Foundry, just to sort of bring that theme throughout the army. And I actually think it works quite well, and I actually think it speeds up the painting when you're looking at producing units quickly, because you keep the same repetitive actions. And that's one of the ways that I find anyway that I can speed up painting. You'll notice if you look at the figures in detail, I hadn't really skimped much in terms of the painting style, but actually surprisingly it was a lot quicker than you might expect. For those of you who are not in the know, all of these figures, well, most of the figures are principally plastic. What I've done to weight mine down is just put a penny in the base, and that just lends enough weight to them that they don't sort of get easily knocked over on the table, or, you know, when the door opens, a gust of wind blows them around, etc. But if we take a look at one of the vehicles, perhaps, if I bring that forward, you can see what we've got going on here is a sort of layered painting technique on the vehicle to try and bring out a bit of depth, but also to accentuate, you know, the camouflage pattern. But then I've reused the storm green on this cylinder, again, just to tie it in a little bit more with the troops. I'm actually going to sell this army on eBay, literally because it's been in the box for about 5 years and has never seen the light of day. But I just thought to myself, you know, I'll showcase it on the grounds that, as I say, I think it's quite a useful technique. And if I just move the camera, you'll see that there's quite a lot of different types of units in the army. We've got heavy bolters over here. We've got a little bit of a command group. We've got some snipers. I've got some spare characters there to fill into the squads if you want them. There's a special unit of stormtroopers over here. But all of them are painted in the same sort of style. And as I say, it's one of those things that personally I found very useful in terms of sort of developing a sort of technique in terms of, I wouldn't call it speed painting, but certainly accelerating the painting process. So apologies, I'm just going to reach over, grab this tank, and then we'll put this one into focus. So same kind of thing. I believe I've mixed up some transfers. I think these came with the model, and I put some numbers on just for a bit of, well, just my own interest really. But yeah, I think the one thing I'd like to stress is adopting that sort of common theme means that you really shouldn't be put off painting anything with uniforms. And we're going to be doing some showcasing of some Napoleonics shortly. But I thought that was a useful little intro, and the next video will be back to some more constructive painting and building. See you shortly.